CBS's Andres Gutierrez reports authorities don't appear to have much to go on.
They still don't have a suspect. There is no person of interest or any suspicious vehicles that have been tied to this investigation.
She was last seen on January 31st. Jeffrey Epstein's former companion, Ghislaine Maxwell, invoked her Fifth Amendment rights today and refused to answer questions from members of the House Oversight Committee. Representative Jasmine Crockett of Texas said there are others they'd like to question.
We need to make sure that there's not some cabal that is operating currently and still engaging in this type of behavior.
Maxwell's attorney indicated she would talk if granted clemency. Committee Chairman James Comer.
What she said today, she's asked for clemency from the president. So I personally don't think she should be granted any type of immunity or clemency.
At the Justice Department today, some lawmakers got a look at unredacted Epstein files. CBS's Scott McFarland reports.
3 million pages of files have been released. We are still trying to make our way through those. Members of Congress can look at some of the other 3 million, but I think needle in a haystack is a charitable way of trying to describe what they're looking for or going to find.
Wendy Gillette reports there are 2 trials getting underway, raising questions about social media sites and their impact on kids.
A lawyer for a 20-year-old woman accuses Meta and YouTube of engineering addiction in children in a trial that's underway in a Los Angeles court. She claims severe mental harm because of social media addiction as a child. The state of New Mexico is also suing Meta, accusing the company of misrepresenting the safety of its platforms. Attorney Donald Migliori.
Meta put profits over safety.
The state accuses Meta of creating a breeding ground for child sex predators. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
Public school teachers in San Francisco have gone on strike. It's the first such strike in nearly 50 years. Nurses at 2 major hospital systems in New York City have reached a deal to end a nearly month-long strike. Nurse Patrick Klein.
We want to get back in there. We want to take care of our patients.
The agreement still needs approval by union members. On Wall Street today, stocks finished higher. The Nasdaq was up by 207 points. The Dow Jones Industrials finished the day 20 points higher. This is CBS News.
Real crimes, real justice. Follow and listen to 48 Hours on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppable beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable. You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppable beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
Afternoon, Tina was behind a stalled vehicle on 40 eastbound off-ramp at Briley over near the airport there in the Donaldson area. Did have traffic a little bit slow. It continues to build 24 eastbound out through Antioch, pushing into Murfreesboro, Rutherford County. It's heavy, no surprise. Really northbound 65 as you approach Vietnam Vets, trying to get on up into Goodlettsville. Hey, Stein Dental Care in Nashville. That's who I use, and so should you. Google Stein Dental Care in Nashville. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
This is Pastor Nikki Ajapong, lead pastor of Holy Hill Chapel.
Here are sermons on WGNS Sunday night at 7:30.
Our sermons are loaded with the keys of the kingdom. If you don't have the keys, you'll be stranded.
Visit holyhillchapeltn.org to hear our podcast.
Rutherford weather.
Clear skies and foggy tonight with lows around 44. Cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun. Tomorrow, high temperatures reach up to 71. I'm WGNS meteorologist Derek Height. Right now, 73.
We do it your way at Sir Pizza.
Your favorites can now be ordered online at sirpizzatn.com. Carryout and delivery are available. Just go to sirpizzatn.com and tap the location closest to you.
We're the Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, audio and video streaming at wgnsradio.com.
From the first pitch to the final buzzer, this is where the conversation starts. All sports talk on WGNS and Big G TV, covering the Preps, MTSU, news from Tennessee and nationwide. Now, here's All Sports Talk on the Good Neighbor Network.
And a good Monday afternoon to you, All Sports Talk. And my guest is going to be Middle Tennessee head baseball coach Jerry Myers. And Coach, you got me there?
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. And somebody must have told the weatherman that college baseball starts this week.
Yeah, long overdue in terms of what we've been trying to get done practice-wise, but we'll take it, and hopefully, it's here to stay. But we know that may not be the case.
Coach is going to be starting his fourth season as the head coach of the Blue Raiders this week. The team will open up on Friday afternoon against Bellarmine out of Louisville, Kentucky. And how do you feel here on the just a few days away from opening day, Coach?
I feel good. I always feel excited this time of year to get going, to compete against someone in a different uniform, and we've been fortunate to get some inter squads in, or at least simulated, scrimmages in the last couple of weeks, even battling the tough weather that we've had. But feel like we've been really productive, had a really good fall, and then leading into our preseason here in January and February, our guys are doing everything we're asking to at this point in time, and then we feel like we're ready to go.
Well, it's I was just thinking, driving home this afternoon, just a week ago, this whole place was covered with ice and snow, and spring looked a long way away. But sunshine today, and I know you didn't have I think Monday's usually your off day, but it wasn't an off day for you and the other coaches and your grounds crew, because you've been working hard to get this ballpark ready for the opener on Friday.
Yeah, definitely. We with the ice and snow and freeze and thaw and everything, trying to get our playing surface. We're one of the few teams in our league that has a natural playing surface, and when that infield dirt freezes and thaws, got a lot of maintenance to get involved to get a game ready, and we were able to scrimmage on it all weekend, and got 3 extended inter squads in Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and good lifts on top of that. So working on the field is just part of it, and we're fortunate right now. We're in good shape.
Well, I know pitching is your specialty. You were pitching coach for a long time. Head coach at Old Dominion, and then got out of it on the field stuff for a couple of years, but I think you were kind of itching to get back into it, and came here as a pitching coach under Coach Toman, and then took over the head coaching reins when he left, and starting your 4th year now. So let's talk a little pitching here in this first segment, and then we'll go on to some of the other positions later on. But I looked at your roster today, and I counted 20 pitchers out of 34 players. Is that correct?
So we have 39 right now.
Okay.
Actually. And we're able to do that because of the new rule where 34 roster limit is grandfathered in. And if you had some in the program that were grandfathered in based on the recruiting timeline of when those, those signees that were coming in were already signed, it allowed you to have some leeway there. So once those particular ones end up graduating and filtering through the program in one way or another, you're back down to your 34. So we're carrying a little bit more than that, but we do have 20 pitchers, and we're for the most part, healthy. A couple of them are banged up and not quite ready to go yet. We're coming off of rehab from the fall, or something where we think we may get them back. So we're probably 18 and a half of those are active right now.
Okay, I counted 15 who throw from the right side and 5 who throw from the left side. And as far as new faces, we'll talk about them in a minute, but you've got some returning guys coming in, primarily 2 of your weekend starters from last year, Drew Horn and Chandler Alderman, and I assume you're going to be counting on them here in this coming season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, both of those guys, they need to stay healthy, which Drew Horn didn't do last year. Was probably missed more than half of the season. At one point or another, missing some starts, starting off very well for us last year, and then having some arm issues, and then came back and threw a little bit more, and then kind of didn't quite get right and missed probably. If he would have stayed in the rotation the whole time, probably missed, like I said, about half the season in terms of the amount of starts that he was projected to have. And of course, Chandler Alderman pretty much has started his whole career, went in the rotation as we were really young his freshman year, and was very solid for us that freshman year, and mainly as a starter, and then started all of his outings last year, and week in, week out was in our rotation. So those 2 guys definitely have experience. Drew Horn doesn't have a massive amount of innings under his belt in his college career. He was injured coming out of high school before junior college, but works extremely hard, and right now he's in a good spot, and he's probably physically as strong and ready to go as he has been, anytime, since he was injured in high school, I believe, going into his senior year. So, we're glad to have those 2 guys with some experience under their belt. We've got a couple other guys that return as well that have pitched for us. And part of what we set out to do, especially with a lot of returning experience anyway, from a position standpoint, was bring in some pitchers not only that had some experience, but that were a little bit older, and maybe whether it was junior college or a transfer at a 4-year school, some guys that weren't just looking for somewhere else to go, that were guys that had some quality experience under their belt. And so we feel like we've brought in several in that category that hopefully can get their feet wet in our uniform and, take off where some of their experience in the past has led them.
Yeah, and what's really unusual is that both Drew Horn and Chandler Alderman have pitched a no-hitter in a Blue Raider uniform. Drew last year against Oakland, and Alderman 2 years ago. I forget who that was, but
against Liberty.
Liberty, okay. So you've got guys who are capable of going out there. Of course, you don't expect that every time out.
Be nice.
You don't ever expect it, I guess, but when it comes along, it's certainly comforting to know that those guys have got it in them.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be nice to be able to come close to that each time out, but it's not the nature of the game. But yes, both of those guys have had those outings where they're going to remember for a long time, and we just want them to be consistent week in, week out, stay healthy, help us anchor the rotation and our staff, because they have been here and they have traveled and pitched in especially Alderman, pitched in every location that is in the league, except for the new teams that have joined Conference USA, and that kind of brings some stability to the rest of the guys that might be new or haven't been on the road or in the Conference USA dugout to compete in an in-conference game, that kind of thing. And so those guys are bringing a valuable experience to our staff for sure.
You have been tactfully avoiding mentioning a rotation in the interviews that we've had with you and with other people, but we may try to pin you down on that later on in the show. But you mentioned newcomers now. You went heavily into the junior college ranks. I counted 6, maybe 7 junior college pitchers coming in here, and also a couple of transfers from Vanderbilt, and one from a D1 school, South Carolina Upstate. So you do have some new faces, and we probably don't have time to go into each one of them individually, but overall, what's your impression of the new guys?
That's a good group for sure, and some of them had to make that transition in the fall. Not that they hadn't been in a competitive environment where they came from. They really all had been. It's just making that transition to our routine. And Coach Wisniewski, was great with our pitchers' development and their program and the routine. And sometimes, the adjustment period to that. It takes a little bit of time, and, for the most part, that group has been more and more productive each week throughout the fall and going into, January and February as well. So we're excited. We're going to need big contributions out of all of those that you just mentioned. And, part of our goal was not just to get some transfers, but to get some guys that had pitched and pitched in some competitive environments, whether it be, highly ranked or high caliber junior college, or a 4-year Division I transfer. And with the way that rosters are put together and constructed these days, it's finding that right one that is a good fit for your program. And we feel like this group all fit that bill for sure.
I'll talk about the 2 pitchers coming in from Vanderbilt, because we know that Coach Corbin over there kind of hangs his head on recruiting pitching prospects. So what about these guys?
Yeah, so David Horn Jr. And Ethan Robinson are 2 right-handers that spent time at Vanderbilt. Ethan Robinson was injured going into his freshman year there, and was finally getting healthy last year in his second year there, but was not active for them. And he has, pretty much all his college career in terms of eligibility ahead of him. He's making great progress. He's got a chance to be really good for us in the future, and hopefully, the very near future as well. And David Horn Jr. is another one who spent 2 years at Vanderbilt, did pitch both his freshman and sophomore year. He's from California and transferred to the University of San Diego last year, and happened to be really good friends with Matt Wolf, our shortstop that spent time at Vanderbilt as well. And that's kind of how we got on to him when he decided he wanted to go into the transfer portal to find the right place for his senior year, his last year. And David Horn had a shoulder minor, you say minor if any kind of surgery or any kind of procedure is major when it's a pitching arm, but he had missed most of the fall and was rehabbing, and he's back to a good spot right now. So hopefully he can make with the experience that he's had pitching in SEC games, and I think he started a game against UCLA last year when he was at San Diego. He's got a vast amount of experience, and he has a really good work ethic and routine that has helped him, come back from the, like I said, minor procedure he had on his shoulder late in the summer. So hopefully he's healthy. Both of those guys can contribute for sure, ability-wise, and we're looking forward to them contributing to our entire staff.
Okay, Coach, that's a good resume on your pitching staff. And one other pitcher I want to mention, I'll try to bring him up a little bit later. But right now we're going to take our first break. And when we come back, we'll be going into your position players. You got a lot of experience coming back there. So we're talking with Blue Raider head baseball coach Jerry Myers. All Sports Talk will continue right after this.
Every team knows which play can be a winning move. I'm State Farm Agent Andy Womack, here to help life go right by combining your home and auto insurance. Call me today at 615-890-0850. It's a winning move that saves you time and money. Your ride, your stuff. You live with them together. I'm State Farm Agent Andy Womack. It's smart to protect them together to help life go right. Give me a call at 615-890-0850 and let me help you save by combining your auto and renters.
Clark's Auction Company will get you top dollar for your property.
Auctions are easy, fast, and profitable.
You have a staff that comes to your home. They walk you through it. It's been my experience. What I thought I should get for my home, I got much more for it.
Call Parks Auction and Realty or visit parksauction.com.
Clark's Auction Company will get you top dollar for your property.
Clark's Auction Company, committed to auction excellence.
Sold it to you, 27.5.
AA made all the difference in my life. I noticed that most of the goals I had as a kid were slipping by. I didn't feel like the person I hoped to be. After all those years of drinking, I really didn't know myself. When I was out there drinking, I was always looking for the next great party to make me feel all right. With AA, I found a better way of life. And I feel good in my everyday life, even without a drink in my hand. Alcoholics Anonymous. It works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or AA.org.
If someone asked, "What's your more?" would you be surprised? Well, at First Bank, knowing your more is where we start. Whether it's seeing your kid's college graduation, seeing the world, or seeing the ocean from your patio, your more helps us see who you are. That's why First Bank offers you more time, more access to local lenders and leaders, more answers, and more products. So tell us, what's your more? First Bank. Bank local. Get more. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Amanda from Animal City, inviting you to come do business with our family. We are delighted to have just celebrated our 35th anniversary, and that is all thanks to you, our wonderful customers. We are pet lovers too, and we personally select every treat and toy, ensuring it's the same quality that we give our own pets. Stop by Animal City and get the best quality pet gear in town. Animal City is at 919 Northwest Broad Street in Murfreesboro.
Keeping your home warm in the winter and cool in the summer all starts with the right installation. Roscoe Brown and Carrier offer comprehensive installation services that not only enhance your comfort but also improve your energy efficiency, saving you money on your utility bills. With expert installation and advice, our team ensures that your home is perfectly insulated for every season. Turn to the experts at Roscoe Brown and Carrier. Your family's comfort is our family's legacy. RoscoeBrown.com.
Afternoon, Tina was behind a stalled vehicle on 40 eastbound off-ramp at Briley over near the airport there in the Donaldson area. Did have traffic a little bit slow. It continues to build 24 eastbound out through Antioch, pushing into Murfreesboro, Rutherford County. It's heavy, no surprise. Really northbound 65 as you approach Vietnam Vets, trying to get on up into Goodlettsville. Hey, Stein Dental Care in Nashville. That's who I use, and so should you. Google Stein Dental Care in Nashville. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
It's all sports talk from the Good Neighbor Network, FM 1019, 100.5, AM 1450, wgnsradio.com, and Big G TV.
Dick Palmer with you on a Monday afternoon, all sports talk. Coach Jerry Myers, head baseball coach at Middle Tennessee, is joining me. And Coach, we went over your pitching staff. One thing I noticed on the roster, I did not see but one freshman listed on your printed roster. Was that my mistake, or is that true?
So just one freshman in that initial class that came in the fall. Shirt a couple guys from last year that will be redshirt freshmen, but mid-year transfer from University of Tennessee, Alex Bedford, is the other true freshman on our roster. It's a little bit unusual in terms of roster makeup, and who knows what is usual these days with roster construction, like I said earlier. But it was our intention to try to get a little bit older, having a pretty young roster, especially from the pitching side of things, and just kind of worked out that way. Typically, you're going to probably have a few more freshmen mixed in almost every typical recruiting class, but that is kind of how it worked out this way this year, and we're excited about the young ones that we have in our program as well, for sure.
Yeah, and you do have a freshman pitcher listed, a young man with pretty good bloodlines, I think, Ryder Harville from the Savannah, Tennessee area.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryder came in. His dad had been a former first rounder, and definitely had some MLB time. And Ryder's been coached and from bloodlines and coaching. His coaching that he received along the way, both probably as a very young child, first time he ever pitched, or first time he threw a ball, probably from his dad, because his dad has been pitching his whole life. So Ryder's an exciting young prospect in our program as well, for sure. So we're excited about him.
Okay, let's talk position players now. As I look at the roster, you've got 2 catchers back from last year. You've got your whole infield back, plus 1 or 2 who are interchangeable pieces, and you've got 2 of your 3 starting outfielders back. So you didn't have to really go out and search for position players that much, but you did bring in a few.
We also had a couple of guys in the program that were redshirting last year. One because of injury, and one because of just development-wise and opportunity-wise. And you got Lane Akers and Grant Snyder, who Grant had some experience as a freshman, and there are 2 guys that are in the program as well that I consider returners. Right. Just like the other guys, even though they didn't play last year, but. So we are a little bit more of a experienced club from an offensive standpoint, at least from guys that have played in conference games and in our uniform. So, hopefully that bodes well for them being a little bit more well-rounded and more productive all the way around, up and down our lineup, with a couple of new faces in there as well as we get the season going.
Yeah, you did bring in another catcher, transfer from the University of Maine by the name of O'Neill.
Dean O'Neill.
Yeah, yep. And I assume he'll be sharing catching duties with Tyler Minnick.
Right. The thing about Dean O'Neill, the transfer from Maine, and Tyler Minnick, who caught the majority of our games last year, and then Jackson Janilla, another senior catcher. 2 of those guys have also played first base, and Tyler and Dean. So, obviously it gives you some options when you can do that as well, and you might see both of those guys, if they're not catching, Dean and Tyler, with a chance to be at first base as well, or in our lineup. One way or the other.
You lost your center fielder, Eston Snyder, and a young man has come in, Owen Nowak. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, it's Owen Nowak. He's from Wisconsin, played junior college in Illinois, and he's a left-handed hitter and probably a true center fielder, but very good outfielder overall. More of a true center fielder and leadoff kind of guy as well. And we're going to miss Eston Snyder no matter what, with a lot of the things that he brought to the table in terms of leadership and character, and having a great year for us offensively and defensively. But Owen will help fill those shoes. He's injured right now. He might not be out there opening day. He's coming off of a hand injury, and that happened late in the fall. So I would say he's somewhere between 80-90% back to where he needs to be, and hopefully he'll be helping us stabilize what we do in the outfield for sure.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't be hurting too bad in the outfield, because you've got Brett Rogers coming in after a really good first year for the Raiders last year. You've got Kenny McKinley back from last year's team, Keaton Ray, and Nathan Brewer. So those are all very capable outfielders. Yeah,
absolutely. And there's 2 guys that you didn't mention that didn't play last year, but are very capable outfielders. One of them redshirted for us. Connor Bowden was a freshman last year who redshirted, and Lane Akers is also a way above average defender out there, and he's injured his right shoulder and can't throw quite like we need him to right now, but he's swinging the bat really well, and he's a well-rounded athlete that's earned some playing time for sure. But you may see him if he gets healthy with his throwing in the outfield, quite a bit as well. So we do have some depth out there and some options from the right and left-handed side, and it gives us an opportunity to play some matchups when we have a righty or a lefty that we have to face on the mound that day.
Yeah, and infield-wise, your shortstop is back. Matt Wolf got injured late in the year last year, missed some time, but he's back. Cooper Clapp also was injured early in the season. I think that probably affected his whole season last year. Clay Badalak, who was granted one extra year of eligibility, and I think that has to be a plus for the team. And you mentioned Akers, who is so versatile. He can play infield or outfield. So, and the young man from Tennessee, Bedford, what is he, an outfielder?
He's a outfielder by trade, but we're working him at first base a little bit too, just to create options for him with a lot of playing time ahead of him, and having 4 years of eligibility, and a versatile athlete, and might be that somewhere down the road he ends up seeing some time at first base as well. But he's a corner outfielder, and that's kind of his main position there as well. And Brett Von Dolen, who we tend to think of him as playing hitter sometimes, but he's a corner infielder for us as well, and has played some third base for sure, and gotten better over there. And we've had him at first base a little bit in the past as well. So he'll be a mainstay in our lineup, and we'll have some options with him besides just DH, because he's done a better job of continuing to improve defensively as well.
Right, and a young man we hasn't mentioned, who's been with us for 4 years, is Cale Vinson. So a lot of playing time a couple of years ago at second base. Didn't play a lot last year, but he's one of those guys that you just like to have around, because you can plug him in just about anywhere.
He's invaluable, just with experience, makeup, the attitude he brings every day, and even if he doesn't play all the time, and he's a guy you could play all the time, and he might be a guy that doesn't play, and he's going to be the same guy. So he's invaluable because he can move around too, and you're going to get quality effort and the ability to play second, play third, play first. I mean, we could do some things if need be, and he can give you a mature, experienced at bat. Like I said, even if he's not in the everyday lineup. So we're excited about him, and have him for one more year.
Your offensive lineup, you bring in a lot of experience, and these guys can hit. They hit last year. They can put some runs on the board. So really, it's going to be up to our pitchers to hold the opposition in check and let our offense go to work.
We've got to improve in a lot of areas, Dick, and it is a good feeling that those guys have a significant number of at-bats and playing time under their belt that might be the bulk of our lineup. Some of those guys were injured, like Brewer and Clapp, who might have been in there more, definitely would have been in there more last year. But from an offensive standpoint, we need to be more well-rounded. We got to play better defense, and we're capable of doing that for sure. And but you're exactly right. It's I don't know if it starts on the mound, but usually does. If you got a good chance with whoever you're running out there on the mound, and your bullpen is deep, you can usually be in a lot of competitive games with a chance to win, and that's where we're trying to get.
Yeah, you mentioned your defense, and that was an area last year where we struggled. And I don't know why or the whereabouts of all of that, but
we had to move a lot of guys around when you lose. You lose a elite first baseman in Trace Phillips, and you start moving some of your people around. Doesn't lend itself to some of the consistency that we felt like we could have or were capable of having defensively. And same thing with Cooper Clapp and. Our starting day, opening day last year, defense didn't stay out there very long as a whole, and we were able to, kind of make some guys move from positions that and rely on them for, maybe offense, but maybe not the defensive side of it, where we may have suffered a little bit with a couple of those injuries, but. Everybody has them. You got to figure out how to deal with them when it happens. But we seem to have had some key ones at the wrong time last year. But it's a new year.
Yeah, it is. And the old adage is that if you're going to have a good season, you've got to be strong up the middle. Catcher, shortstop, second base, center field. Do you hold to that?
Yeah, absolutely. And also the guy in the middle is a pitcher. But
yes.
But from a defensive standpoint, 100%, they got to be, they got to be more than just solid. They got to have leadership and communication, skills at the top of their game because they're in the premium positions in terms of communication. You gotta. Kind of play quarterback at any of those positions, shortstop, second base a little bit, center field for sure, and, 100% behind the plate. You got to be the quarterback out there and take charge and be a leader as well. So we get that out of other guys as well, but those are positions up the middle that are always, you can hide you used to be, and they can't not as much anymore, but you could usually hide a guy that was just a hitter and not a great defender in a corner outfield spot, but right. You better be athletic and well-rounded on both sides of the baseball to be effective at this level these days.
Yeah, you mentioned the injuries. Nathan Brewer, has he come back from his injury okay?
He has. It took him a little longer. That hamate bone in the hand, we've had a few of those in the last couple of years, and his took a little longer to come back from. Cooper Clapp, that was his issue last year, trying to maybe come back a little too soon with the same injury. But that being said, both of those guys work extremely hard. Nathan is probably our most physical and player that we have in our lineup, and he works extremely hard in the weight room, and I feel like that's always going to be what helps him be a threat. But he's more well-rounded as a hitter as well. So experience is invaluable, and both those guys have some of that.
Okay, Coach, we're going to take a break. We've got one more segment to go, and we'll talk about the Conference USA, and one of the stronger baseball conferences in the NCAA. We'll take a break. Back with Coach Jerry Meyer after this. You're listening to All Sports Talk.
Locally owned and operated by Greg Hall.
Hey y'all, it's Taylor with Bell Jewelers inviting you to come shop with us Friday the 13th for our first ever Simon G Truck Show. I am so excited to host this year's Simon G Truck Show here at Bell Jewelers. We're going to have multiple cases emptied out and put nothing but the Simon G pieces in there. See us Friday the 13th for our Simon G Trunk Show here at Bell Jewelers, 821 Northwest Broad Street, across from Toots.
Power outages are unpredictable, but with Roscoe Brown's generator services, your peace of mind doesn't have to be. Whether it's storm season or an unexpected blackout, our generators ensure that your home stays powered. Installation, maintenance, or repair, our team's ready 24/7 to respond to your needs. With Roscoe Brown, you're not just getting a generator, you're securing a lifeline for those moments that you needed the most. Ensure your home is always powered. Your family's comfort is our commitment. RoscoeBrown.com.
Next on All Sports Talk, it's the Blue Raider Insider Report with Chip Walters of Exit Realty, Bob Lamb and Associates.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Let's start with a football note today. Middle Tennessee football will introduce a new fan engagement opportunity with the launch of Coffee with Coach. That begins on Wednesday, February 18th, inside the Smith Center. The event will take place in one of the Smith Center's position meeting rooms and will begin at 8 o'clock. Coffee with Coach is designed to provide fans with a relaxed, informal setting to connect with head coach Derek Mason, hear updates on the state of the program, and ask questions in an open conversational atmosphere. The series will be held on the third Wednesday of each month and runs through August prior to the start of the 2026 season. Coffee and donuts from Donut Country will be provided, and the event will be open to the public at no cost. Again, the first one comes up on February 18th. No need to register. Just show up at 8 a.m. There'll be parking in the Greenland Drive parking lot. But, of course, as you know, it tends to get a little busy out in that parking lot, so you're invited to attend and get there early. Also, space could be limited depending on which meeting room they would be using at the time. The Middle Tennessee Blue Raider golf team wrapped up the Thomas Sharkey Invitational individual collegiate on Sunday at Georgia Southern, highlighted by a pair of top 10 finishes from Jake Hopper and Owen Queener. Hopper finished tied for 7th at 2 over par 218 after carding rounds of 75, 71, and 72, while Queener tied for 9th at 6 over par 222 following rounds of 72, 74, and 76. Connor Henry also posted a strong final day, shooting a 3 under par 69 to move into a tie for 9th at 222. The Blue Raiders travel to San Antonio to compete in the Military City Collegiate, hosted by UTSA, February 23rd and 24th at TPC San Antonio Canyons course. Well, looking at what's coming ahead in men's basketball in the midweek schedule this week on Wednesday, UTEP at Jack State, Liberty at New Mexico State. Thursday, Middle plays at Kennesaw. That is a 5:30 Central Time start. Delaware at FIU. Louisiana Tech will be at Missouri State. And, of course, the Blue Raiders on Saturday head back to Bowling Green to take on Western Kentucky. The men's standings right now, Liberty in first place at 12-0, Jack State 8-4 in second place. Then Sam Houston at 8-5, Missouri State 7-5, Kennesaw 6-6 along with Louisiana Tech. Western Kentucky is at 6-7, Middle 5-7, UTEP 5-8, FIU 4-8, New Mexico State 4-9, and Delaware is at 3-9. Looking at the women's schedule, coming up on Thursday, Kennesaw State will be at Western Kentucky, Jack State at Middle, FIU will be at Louisiana Tech, UTEP at Liberty, New Mexico State at Delaware, and Missouri State at Sam Houston. Checking the women's standings, the Blue Raider loss on Saturday at FIU did hurt. It moved FIU into a tie with Middle for fourth place in the conference. Louisiana Tech still 10-1. Sam Houston and Missouri State are 7-3. FIU and Middle are 7-4. Jacksonville State 6-5. Liberty 5-6. Delaware also 5-6. Kennesaw 4-7. New Mexico State 4-7. And right now it looks like UTEP and Western Kentucky will not make the tournament. UTEP is 2-9. Western Kentucky is in last place at 1-10 overall in conference play. All right, that is it. Be sure and join us top of the hour from the Boulevard. It's Rick Insel live at 6 and Nick McDevitt live at 7 right here on the Big G, WGNS.
It's All Sports Talk from the Good Neighbor Network, FM 1019, 100.5, AM 1450, wgnsradio.com, and Big G TV.
Welcome back in All Sports Talk. Dick Palmer with you on this Monday afternoon, joined by Blue Raider head baseball coach Jerry Myers. And Jerry, we've talked pitching, we've talked hitting, infield position players. Let's talk about this conference that you're going to be managing in, because it is one of the toughies in NCAA baseball.
Yeah, well, once again, Conference USA is going to be, just a gauntlet to try to get through the conference season and the 10 weekends that we have. 5 at home, 5 on the road, and the league has always been very strong, but believe it's going to be up there in national rankings in terms of conferences as a whole, in the top 5 or 6, just like it has been in the last few years. And it's a tough league, and it's very deep. There's no easy weekends at all.
And kind of as expected, Dallas Baptist has been picked in the preseason to be the favorite in this year's race. And this is, I don't know how accurate these things are. Usually they're not very, but I think anybody who knows anything about college baseball would put Dallas Baptist at least in the top 2 or 3.
Yeah, they've earned that over the years, and with what they've done, and the stripes that they've earned, along the way, and I'm with what they have returning and what I'm sure they brought in, they're going to be towards the top of the league. And you're right, though, this time of year, and especially with the new rules, and you don't have to sit out. You can change a roster pretty quick, and but until you do, prove what you do have, and until you prove it and answer those questions on the field, it's pretty much what have you done for me lately, and that's kind of how the preseason polls that come out usually are constructed.
Right, and the old saying, to be the best, you've got to beat the best. But we're not going to have a chance to do that with Dallas Baptist because they're not on our schedule this year.
Yeah, you leave one team out in our league the way the conference schedule goes right now, and with one team on the usually it's geographically, but there's usually I guess in this particular schedule, they tried to look at travel as part of it as well. But it's the first format that we've had to do that since I've been here, where you leave one team out in the we don't have divisions, but you leave one team out in the league that you don't have to go to. So we'll see, and with the rest of the league being very strong, I think it all evens out in the end when you play 3-game sets and a 30-game conference schedule. So it's going to be tough regardless.
Yeah, they've got whoever votes in this, and they didn't ask me to vote, so I've not got to say, but our team is ranked in the bottom third of the league. I wonder, does this irritate you, or does it give you a little fuel to try and pump your players up, or how does that affect you, if at all?
I mean, if you need to use that for extra motivation, you weren't doing what you needed to begin with, is the way I always look at it. And, it's, again, it's like until you prove it on the field, that's where they may have you. They don't know what we have. We don't know what they have in terms of new players or the players that are returning that have developed more. So, it's one of those deals where, you can't get sidetracked by any of it. If you were picked first, that doesn't make you play any different or try any harder than if you were picked last. And, it'll all get sorted out in the end. But, it's not the kind of sport where you can get yourself all, excited about, this, that, or the other, or the bulletin board material or any of that usually doesn't serve well in the nature of our game. And, consistency does, and you prove that by making routine plays and having competitive at bats and attacking the strike zone on the mound, and you try to be as consistent and competitive as you can doing that, and it'll sort itself out. But we're not going to make any changes based on where we may have been picked in a preseason poll. But, that's, again, we got to prove that we're, more than whatever someone might think that we are, but we're not going to get distracted by it either way.
Yeah, I think you're one of the guys, and you don't count your chickens before they hatch, and you don't look too far into the future. You can really only look as far ahead as that next ball game, and with 3-game series coming up with all these conference teams, it's you can't concede anything.
Absolutely not. Everyone's important. The next game is the most important game on your schedule, and we got to try to do everything we can to put our guys in the best position possible. And they've got to be confident in what they're doing, because the preparation that they put in day in, day out, it's not always going to go well. You got to handle whatever adversity is thrown at you and respond well. And if you can do that, you give yourself the best chance. And that's kind of how we try to go about our business.
Well, one thing the voters did get right, I think they picked 4 starting pitchers on the preseason all-conference team, and one of those is Drew Horn, and I think he's proved his mettle as a pitcher, and rightly so, and so that's a good accomplishment. He's just got to go out there and do it now.
Yep, absolutely. He's put in the work for sure, and just like any other sport or endeavor, you got to do your best. You got to stay healthy, and that's a big part of what he wasn't able to do last year. But when he was out there, he did really well for us. So he got some accolades for that, and it speaks well of the hard work that he's put in. Sure.
Okay, so we've got these teams coming in to Reese Smith Field this season, not in any particular order, but we'll have Kennesaw State coming in. They were picked 3rd in the preseason. We'll have New Mexico State coming in. We'll have a new opponent, Delaware. We'll see them for the first time. We'll have Western Kentucky and Liberty. Those will all be home series. And what do you know about our 2 new conference members, Delaware and Missouri State, which we will see on the road this year?
Yeah, I'm very familiar with them. I was at one point in time in the same league as a head coach at Old Dominion with Delaware, and way back. And I know the coaches well. I'm not as familiar with Missouri State, although I know the history of the program, and longtime coach Keith Gutton that was there. One of his assistants took over the reins, and they've stayed very competitive, but new in our league. And they're a team that's been to Omaha before, and so playing on the road there obviously will be a challenge in our first meeting with them as a conference opponent. So again, very good league all the way top to bottom, and with the 2 new additions, it even makes us even stronger.
Well, from looking at the schedule, we play away at Missouri State. We go to Jacksonville. We go to Sam Houston. We go to Florida International, and we make that wonderful road trip to Ruston, Louisiana, to play Louisiana Tech. And they're in there last year in the league, I think.
Yep, they are, and a very good opponent. Obviously, tough place to play, and they pour a lot into their baseball program down there, and they've had a good run over the last several years. Definitely more really good seasons than not, and they're in their league for the last year as they make the move, I believe, back to the Sun Belt where they were years ago.
So we open up Friday with Bellarmine, which is a relatively newcomer to Division I. I think their first season was 2021, moving up from the Division II ranks. So this will be their 5th year competing in Division I, and they've seemed to hold their own and even get a little bit better year to year.
Yeah, they definitely do. And it's always a challenge early in the year to get playing how you want to play once the lights come on, and we're going to be focused on doing that as our priority and trying to play the way that we want to play. And Bellarmine is building a program, in a very good league as well, and it's going to be a competitive challenge for us for sure. And we're looking forward to the weekend.
I understand Lane Akers has got a first cousin or a cousin playing for that team who's a good player.
Absolutely. I played at Columbia State, and I think played at least 1 year at NAIA school after that, and transfers in there, I believe, as a grad transfer, and a really good hitter. Like I said, one of the Tennessee kids that has put up numbers and was a very, very good high school player, and has had a really good college career up to this point. So I'm sure he's going to be in a big part of whatever they do offensively.
All right, Coach, we got about 30 seconds left, so I saved this for last. Any thoughts on a starting rotation for this weekend?
Well, I'll give you a little bit, just to tease you a little bit, but we're going to start Drew Horn in game one. Now, if we have a doubleheader or we get some rain, something could change, but we'll go opening day. The plan is Drew Horn. Obviously we talked about Chandler Alderman and a little bit about David Horn, and also Gavin King, who we maybe didn't mention earlier, along with some of the others. They're all in contention right now. We're trying to figure out, how everybody feels here early in the week and make plans to lining them up. So I gave you 1/3 of what you're looking for there.
Okay, that's great. That's more than I was expecting.
Yeah.
Want to thank you for taking time out of what I know was a very busy schedule to talk with us today, and looking forward to Friday. We'll see you out there.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Coach Jerry Myers, head baseball coach at MTSU. That's going to wrap it up for today. You've got coaches' shows coming up next, so stay with us on WGNS All Sports Talk.
Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home has served Murfreesboro families with compassion and care since 1880. As a family-owned funeral home, we're committed to honoring every life with dignity through traditional services, cremation options, and pre-planning that gives you peace of mind. For over 140 years, we've been here when it matters most. Visit JenningsandAyers.com. Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home, honoring life and comforting families since 1880.
This is Chip Walters, and I'm honored to be your 2024 MTAR Realtor of the Year. I'm with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates, and like many of you, I've seen the real estate market shift and change. People often ask, Chip, what's really going on? Well, that's a great question, and I believe in answering with solid, factual data. So let's cut through some of the noise. I invite you to reach out. Let's have a conversation about your real estate goals and the current market trends in your neighborhood. You can find all my contact information at choosechip.net.
Holden Hardware has been serving the hardware needs of this community since 1948. This is Raleigh Holden Jr. I want to thank our many customers who have helped to keep us in business all these years. I also want to invite those who may be new to this community or have not been in the store lately to visit us. Come experience a unique hardware buying atmosphere with wood floors, old furniture and fixtures, along with a helpful and knowledgeable sales staff. Holden Hardware on the west side of the public square since 1948.
Lace up your best kicks for a night of impact benefiting First Shot. Join us for the annual Sneaker Ball presented by Venture Express. Spend Sunday, April 26th with NFL Hall of Famer and Super Bowl MVP Marcus Allen. The event kicks off at 6 with a VIP meet and greet at 5. Reserve your table today. Call Coach Andy Herzer at 615-631-5312. We'll see you at the Sneaker Ball, benefiting First Shot on April 26th.
From the Fox Sports Studio.
Portions of our programming have been pre-recorded.
The Good Neighbor Network. WGNS, Murfreesboro, Smyrna. Flagship station for MTSU Sports. Courthouse clock time, 6 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Today, show host Savannah Guthrie on social media today made another appeal to the public to help find her mother. There was no mention of a ransom or a deadline. Wendy Gillette reports.
We are at an hour of desperation.
Anchor Savannah Guthrie looked stressed and held back tears as she spoke about her family's struggle more than a week after her 84-year-old mother, Nancy, disappeared.
We believe our mom is still out there.
Guthrie asked for help, saying anything that seems...
and we don't know where.
A $50,000 reward is being offered for information. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
Former Jeffrey Epstein confidant Ghislaine Maxwell refused to answer questions today from the House Oversight Committee. She invoked her Fifth Amendment rights.
Greg Pogue.
Well, good Monday evening. Welcome in. It is Rick Insell Live. We are at the Boulevard Bar and Grill. There it is, Rick Insell Live, Boulevard Bar and Grill. 2-hour extravaganza here every Monday night. Next hour, Nick McDevitt live, coach with Chip Walters of the boys. We're going to be joined in just a few minutes by Coach Rick at the Boulevard Bar and Grill. We got some player guests. She all the way from St. Petersburg, Russia, Stacy Kaepernick. And from all the way from Maryville Heritage High School, Carson Swaney. Coach Rick Insell. Rick, how you doing, man?
Running wide open.
Well, when is that any different?
Yeah. Now, everything's good. Everything's good. We're looking for some wins. That's what we're doing.
Rough week. We got the boxes right in front of you to sort of look at Saturday first. I know sometimes it's hard to recap these things when they don't turn out exactly the way you want to, but 60-58, the loss Saturday followed the 60-54 loss Thursday at Missouri State. That top one is Saturday. Just some overall thoughts coming out of this, because you're now starting to recycle and play teams for a second time.
Well, we hadn't played these for a second time. You talking about?
No, about what's coming up, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, you know,
but where you are going into this week,
right? We really don't look at it like that, to be honest with you, Greg. We know that everybody is improving through the year. Everybody's changing a few things, and what we'll do is we'll go in on the scouts and we'll watch their last 4 or 5 games. You got Tom, and you also got. Tom's back there that will go in and make sure what they're doing, not only in the conference, but where they sit in the country. And then Jalen, she's back there. She'll be running film, her and Gracie too. And then Matt's got the scout. So, you know, I feel, and in practice today, I thought our team practiced well today. So I'm pretty happy right now, to be honest with you.
When you go back, when you look at that, how much can you take of it, and how much of it from Saturday or Thursday, either one, do you take from it, build on, or how much of it you just flush?
Well, you know, it's hard in my case to flush a loss, but you got to, you know, we've lost, I don't know how many games this year. I think 11. Probably of those 11, 8 of those games, if we had to play them over, I would feel real good about them. I don't know that we could beat a Tennessee, but I know that we can play better than we played against Tennessee. But everybody else, we're in the game with Mississippi State. We're in the game with Auburn. And, you know, Belmont, we were in the game with them. We should have beat Belmont. I'm just come right down the line. So, you know, I'm not negative on our basketball team. I know that we've got some young ladies that are young, that are 18, 19 years old, and I know when they're 20 and 21 years old that they're going to be more mature, they're going to be stronger, they're going to have more experience. And what I got to look at down the road is the fact that those young ladies are the ones that's going to be carrying this program. And so we got 13, I think, young ladies right now on our roster, and the recruiting class is good. So I like where our program is sitting. You know, our coaches are positive. I get in early this morning, and every coach I've got's in there working hard. My secretary stayed late today. She's here tonight. I mean, the program right now is as good as we've ever had it. So if you want to know how I feel, I'm going to go back to that first question. I feel great.
And you're running full speed.
Wide open. Ask Deb, wide open.
You know, you said something to me in the pregame Saturday that sort of resonated with me, because you can go and pull out whatever, you think, and you can bore down on one statistical category, and it may not be reflective of an overall deal. But 25 turnovers Saturday, it's hard to win a lot of games on the road doing that.
And those turnovers came with our guards. And we've got 3 good kids that play that position. You got Kirsten, you got Davis, you got Yuhan, and we had 16 turnovers right there, those 3. Now, we hadn't had that in a long time. And, I don't think we got any help either, to be honest with you. I've looked back at the game, and, there was some very, 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 at halftime we're up 10 on their floor, and they go into a full court, up the line press, and they go to shooting free throws instead of us. It's just something that you just got to live with. And, there'll be another day, another time. Here's kind of what I would tell the girls. And I've told Chris this many, many times since I've been here 21 years. Because we've lost some games, much like this last 2 games we lost. They didn't give any trophies out. They didn't crown anybody the champion. They didn't send anybody to the NCAA tournament. You know what? La Tech is right now, 10-1, 11-1. Hey, if they finish out the season undefeated, they got to win 3 games in the tournament. Guess what? The Lady Raiders have got to win 3 games in the tournament. I promise you, there ain't nobody going to be wanting to come through the Lady Raiders.
No, and especially in Huntsville, that's Murphy Center South.
Well, they opened up our hotel not more than an hour ago, and I'm telling you, we probably have already booked out 50 rooms. So, that tells you about our fan base. And that tournament is going to be unbelievable, men and women's. It might be the best tournament in the country, the Conference USA tournament. In the country, not just in, a lot of people look at the SEC, and I'm sure they're going to have a great tournament. But we're going to have a great tournament because you got men's teams and women's teams that right now I'd hate to project or predict who's going to win that. I can tell you right now who's going to be in the mix on it, though. They wear blue and white, the Blue Raiders.
Rick Insel Live. We are at the Boulevard Bar and Grill, 2154 Middle Tennessee Boulevard, to be exact as well. Just, looking at some individuals, rolling through some things. AC Elena Contreras, 17 points and 6 assists Saturday. Now, we're going to, obviously you can go to the turnovers. She just committed 3 turnovers in 38 minutes. So is that her?
Well, you can live with 3 turnovers when you're getting the points and assists that you got. You can live with that. And I think Elena's come a long way. I'm very proud that she's on our basketball team. She's not the same person she was when she walked in the door. I mean, she's contributing in a lot of areas now. She's rebounding the ball. She wasn't rebounding the ball before. She's getting out assists. She wasn't giving out assists. And she's shooting the ball at a high percentage right now. Very proud that she's on our basketball team.
Also, do what I mentioned, I thought Yuhan Lin in 20 minutes, not the 5 turnovers, but she came in. Kirsten Verholst, your point guard, was in foul trouble early. I thought she gave you a good lift off the bench.
Just got to slow down. There's improvement for everybody there. But, I'm glad Yuhan's on our basketball team.
The foul trouble. You talk about the disparity from the 10-point lead at halftime. The foul disparity in the third quarter was 9-2.
Well, when you're up the line playing defense like they were playing, as aggressive as playing, and I don't blame them. They're behind. They need to do that. And when you get away with it, you just keep doing it. And that's what they did. They got away with it. You can't be mad at their coach or their team. But you can question the 3 people running around out there calling the game. And, I thought there was there was a couple of calls on Blair Bogus that was not there. I thought there was a couple of calls on Macy Pfeiffer that was not there. But you foul out Macy, you foul out Blair, and you foul out Kirsten. Well, that's your three big-time starters that we've had. And we had we still took the game, still had a chance to win the game.
What was the explanation on the waved off three-pointer? I thought it was right in front of me there, press row. I thought it beat the buzzer. Why would they not go and review that to see if it was good or not? Isn't that why we have replay?
Well, I talked to Patty this morning, and they didn't do it, so. But we got the points. But still, that part's playing with your head, especially when you got a young team. You're looking up there, you've scored, you don't get any basket, it just plays with your head. I didn't like the way they handled that, but we had to go on and keep coaching.
Right, and then you go in and they add the 2 points.
At the end of the third quarter, they're up 2, and they add the 2 points. Now we're tied.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I went to the break. It was 45-43. I come out of the break. It was 45-45.
Right.
Thursday night, just taking a few things there as well, and again, boring down on stats. You told me your thoughts about that, and I get it. But only one offensive rebound. That's unlike you. I'm looking at league stats right now. You're in turnover. Rebounding margin and total rebounding and offensive rebound. You're top 1, 2, 3 all season long in conference play.
Well, it's just one of those nights, Greg. We didn't go rebound on the offensive boards. I thought the game was called well. I thought the game was called well. We didn't play with any urgency early. We got to play with urgency early. I thought we came out Saturday and played with urgency early. But we played the fourth quarter with urgency, and we outscored. Am I right or wrong? We outscored them 18-15 in the fourth quarter. We outscored them 14-11 in the first quarter. But we come back the second and third quarter, and we kind of played on our heels. And with a team like that, you can't do that.
AC again, 21 points, 3 assists on top of that. And just I thought KMU good did. Blair had 18 points as well. Is there such a thing as secondary scoring? Explain that. Because you're going to have your leaders, right? But supplemental scoring needs to come across the board, doesn't it?
Well, I don't know. How
does that work?
I don't know if you're talking about off the bench or what. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really hit on all that, to be honest with you. I know there's a lot of coaches. They're into all this analytics. These analytical guys, if you listen to them long enough, hell, when they lose a game, they'll win a game. But, I look at the bottom line. It says, hey, we won or we lost. And then usually you can look at one column, the rebounding column. And that tells you right there, if you won or lost. If you're getting out rebound by 20. But in these 2 games, I think we out rebounded both teams. Am I correct on that?
Well, not Thursday.
On Saturday, we out rebounded 41-36.
Yes.
And then Thursday, it was 37-24.
Yep.
So, but again, you look at your disparity on free throws Saturday. They shot 28. We shot 11.
Right. 8 of 11. 8 of 11 for us, and that was 72%. And for them, 22 of 28, 78%. So they outscored you 14 points at the free throw line.
You just you can pretty well look at a game as long as I've been in this thing. If you're shooting 24 and the other team's shooting 21, or you're shooting 27, or they're shooting 27 and you're shooting 19, it's a pretty good call game. But when you go and you got 28 to 30 something and you're only shooting 6 or 9 or 11, you got to kind of take a look at that.
Rick Insel live, still to come. Stacy Kaepernick and also Carson Swaney will join us, bottom of the hour. We'll take a look ahead at Thursday, Jack State, Saturday, Kennesaw State. Look at what's going on around Conference USA as well, but we peel back the curtain right after this. Coach Rick, this is it right here, 2154 Middle Tennessee Boulevard, the Boulevard Bar and Grill. All of it powered on the Blue Raider Network by Van Wagner.
Hey, Blue Raider fans, have you heard about the MTSU branded debit card from Ascend Federal Credit Union? Use your Ascend MTSU debit card in stores and online, or add it to your mobile wallet for the ultimate convenience. Need some cash? Use this card fee-free at thousands of ATMs worldwide. Stop by one of Ascend's 5 Murfreesboro branches or visit ascend.org to learn more. Bank where Blue Raiders belong. Ascend Federal Credit Union, the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics.
Plan ahead and plan for success. Put Lee Company on your team for all your facility and home maintenance needs. They are proud to be an official partner of the MTSU Blue Raiders and have serviced homes and businesses for more than 80 years. For the very best heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000 or visit them at leecompany.com.
At State Farm, when home and auto work as a team, you score and save money. I'm State Farm Agent Andy Wama. Give me a call at 615-890-0850 and let's work together to win big by saving money on home and auto. With the service you get from State Farm, you might think our car insurance costs more. I'm State Farm Agent Andy Wama. Give me a call at 615-890-0850 and let me show you with discounts up to 40%. You may find it even costs less.
The Middle Tennessee State University College of Liberal Arts helps you explore your world, engage your mind, enrich your life, and earn a living by studying the arts, humanities, and social sciences. CLA is also home to MTSU Arts, which offers more than 200 arts events each year to our Middle Tennessee community. Learn more at mtsu.edu/CLA.
Roscoe Brown's proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company. For over 85 years, Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name for heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown.
RoscoeBrown.com. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance are the leading experts in sports medicine and performance, and the team physicians for NFL, college, and high school athletes across Tennessee. TOA offers same-day appointments, walk-ins, and urgent care for acute orthopedic injuries that can't wait. TOA is proud to be the team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics. Having a specialized care team you trust can make all the difference in your athletic journey. To find a TOA location near you, visit TOA.com.
The Blue Raiders play here. News Radio WGNS.
Rick Insel Live. It is at the Boulevard Bar and Grill, Blue Raider Network, presented by Van Wagner. Greg Bogue, along with Coach Rick. Bottom of the hour, Stacy Kaepernick and Carson Swaney will be joining us. And this little segment, I don't know if it's got a name or not. I just sort of like to peel back the curtain with Coach Rick and everything. And you brought up your coaches a minute ago. I want to go a little bit deeper on not only their responsibilities, but the personalities that they bring to your staff, to your players. And let's start with your associate head coach, your son, Matt. You coached against him when he was at Ole Miss. You coached against him when he was assistant here or there. But now having him there at your side every step of the way, it's got to be a pretty good feeling.
It is. And Matt brings the intensity that we need every day. And he brings the professionalism. I mean, he is he gets us prepared 100% on what's going on. And I'm very fortunate to get up every morning to be able to go into work with one of my sons.
How good of a coach is he?
He's a lot better than me.
I think Deb would probably agree with that.
Oh yeah, he's a lot better than me. I'm an old school coach. I mean, let's just face fact. I'm old school, and you can't survive in today's world right now with an old school coach. And I'm very fortunate that I've got new age coaches on my staff, starting with Matt, and then going with Kim, going with Tom, and going with Nina. I'm very, very fortunate. And then Shelby just got hired on. They're all young. They connect. I'm an old school coach, and sometimes you got to get away from that. Now you need some of that, but you don't need as maybe much as I want to be.
Well, isn't it a blend of things?
It is. Yeah. It is. It is. It very much is. And, our coaching staff don't agree on everything, and that's good. I don't want them. If they agreed on everything I wanted to do, I probably wouldn't have them on my staff.